Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel as we explore that difference between the Dual Fire 1200 and the Traeger Timberline XL via the reunion cook. Yeah, we're going to compare multiple things in this comparison of giants from their respective manufacturers. Briskets, pork butt, beef ribs, and of course pork ribs, because that's what I do. Anyhow, we got a lot to get into, so let me just share with you the lineup.
All right, everybody, it's happening one more time. Reunion cook. Lots of people coming over. Should be a really good time. We got a lot that we're set up to serve. We've got pork butts, beef rib, large beef ribs. We've got pork ribs. We've got the sausages we did not too long ago. The Texas Hot Link mimicking Kreitz's and the jalapeno popper sausage off of Chud. Should be great. Gonna do some pulled pork chili with this. We may have some carnitas going on here too. As you can see, I've got two grills behind me, the Dual Fire and the Timberline. We're gonna have half of this on each. Also, the pork butt that's going on the Dual Fire, it's a little bit different. We're not going in direct on this one. I've been smoking some really good stuff on the direct side. So instead of doing this on the indirect, I've got a setup that I think you'll find interesting for the direct side. Yeah, you can smoke on the direct side too. It's going to be exciting, going to be a lot of hustle. Here we go.
I think it was Eisenhower that said plans are worthless, but planning is everything. So here's the plan. Overnight brine, long smoke, long cook, and a long rest. That's right, this is an easy lineup. So here we go. First with the beef rib prep. Now the prep here is pretty straightforward. Basically, pat these dry. There's no membrane we're going to remove or anything along those lines. It's really just about seasoning that well marbled rib meat. And I go down with the blacks, salt and pepper and cayenne rub, and then I follow that up with Jess Prowl's black, which always does me good. I gotta tell you, I like that. And we're going to repeat this process on the briskets as well. Okay, so once again, open that up. And then we're going to pat that down. And then again, we're going to go on with the Black's barbecue rub and get that seasoned fairly well. But yes, of course, I am going to trim these up a little bit. And then I'm going to inject them with the Heath Riles beef injection. That just helps to ensure that I got a lot of moisture in there and everything goes well. Clump dusting aside, I think I did a fair job, seasoning each one of these as I went through it. Okay. Yeah, not too bad. Evenly clumped, I would say. Now for the pork butt prep, pretty straightforward again. In this case, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to pat these dry, and then we're going to score them in a diamond slotted manner across the top of that fat cap. And that's going to allow some more seasoning to get inside of that. Again, put a base down of the blacks, and then on top of that, I'm using the Recteq whole hog that I got in the mystery box. And that was it. We're ready for the overnight brine. Next, doing something different on the Timberline because it came out a little bit weak on bark development last time. Putting a snake pit in. I tested this out and it seemed to work pretty well. And what that is, we're going to light one end of that and we're going to let it have some extra smoke. Okay, here we go. Lighting it up, getting the snake pit going. Now it takes about a minute or two to get that moving. But once it moves, the smoke is coming in there pretty well. And because it seems to heat a little bit low, I got this one at 200 while I've got the direct side at low and the indirect side at low. So 200 and 180 respectively. Loading up the meats. That's right. Time to get those beef ribs into place. Get those pork butts into place. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and toss the briskets on there too. So everything finds its home. And I will say this, even with the snake pit in place, that XL does have a fair amount of room. Now, like last time, I have to sneak a peek to see how that bark's developing. And after about 7 hours, that direct side is looking good, okay? Doing the pork butt over there worked out well. Yep, getting the same color I'm accustomed to on the indirect side. But let's see how that snake pit is working out. Yeah, that's much better. And there's that snake pit in action. And it is definitely delivering some more smoke. This is a much better result than what I had the last go round on that brisket. Okay, time to take another peek, 11 hours into things. Yep, looking good still. looking even better on this one too. Yeah, that's all coming together as planned. The pullback on the ribs is looking well as also. And yeah, pull back over here. So bumping the temperature up and the snake pit really made a huge difference in terms of bark development and so forth. And yeah, we're ready to wrap and get this in place for the long overnight cook. Now, as you notice here, I'm putting some of that Wagyu tallow down on top of the beef ribs just to keep everything moist and juicy and such. Getting those wrapped up and put back into place. And I'm going to do this on both set of beef ribs. And those came out first. And by the way, doesn't that color look good? Here, take a closer look. Yeah, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Anyhow, everything's coming out looking good. The bark development on both of these is much better. And the beef ribs came out a little bit earlier because of the temperature. And then later I went ahead and said, hey, let's take another peek at this. Okay. And yeah, we're darkening it up very well on that direct side with that pork butt. And yeah, look at that bark coming together extremely well on that brisket. I think we're about ready to wrap these up too. And once more, let's take a look at the XL. Looked good last time, looking even better now. I gotta tell you, again, makes a ton of difference having that snake pit in place. And it's exhausted, it did its job. It got a lot of smoke on there from the get-go, so I think we're in good shape. Now, as far as the XL pork butt goes, I'm going to start there first. And what I'm going to do here is, put a little bit of that low-cal honey, low-calorie honey. Anyhow, it says low-calorie, it said low-cal on it. And some butter and some apple juice down on that first for everything to sit on top of. And yeah, the color on here, I'm telling you, much improved, looking really good. A little honey on top, a little bit more of the seasoning that I dusted it with to begin with, the whole hog. And yeah, we're ready to baste. Braise, that is. Sorry, not baste. And then we're back onto the grill. So that was looking really good, I must say. Next, we're going to do that XL brisket. Take a look at this. The color on this, much improved, guys. I got to tell you, go look at the last video. You'll see what I'm talking about. That snake pit, really made a difference. So, Wagyu tallow, some butter in place, getting a tight wrap, and then yeah, we're back on the grill for the long cook. And it, was feeling pretty good too, I will admit that. So, a lot better on the XL this go round. Now for the dual fire brisket, yeah, look at that. That's what I'm accustomed to. Good color, good bark. And again, this is with no snake pit going on, okay? So, I mean, everything just felt really nice on that. Wagyu'd it up, buttered it up just like I did the other one. And then, yeah, did my best to get a really tight, wrap on that one too. And then back in it went. Now for the dual fire on that pork butt, keep in mind, we're doing this on the direct side. Whoa, look at that. It is just looking good, okay? Again, seasoning up a little bit. And I got that honey down and the and the butter down on top of that. Yeah, we're looking mighty good shape on this one. A little bit of that apple cider juice going in. And yeah, I couldn't be more happy with the way this turned out. And there you go, wrapping it up for the braise. And then we're putting that back in place over a water pan with that wire rack. And there we go, we're done. Okay, a bit later, we're ready to rest. So grabbing that brisket, off the XL, and I gotta tell you, it is feeling and smelling really good. I've got high hopes that this is going to turn out extremely well with the snake pit, alteration that went into place there. Next, grabbing those ribs out, and yeah, those ribs are really nice and done. Again, wrapping these up, and that's going to just basically keep the moisture in and keep everything, looking good, I hope. And now, going to go ahead and toss that into the resting box and set that aside while I pull the rest of the meats out. Okay, and next up, it's the dual fire side. So yeah, we've got the brisket coming out, and it's feeling pretty good too, I must say, and smelling pretty good. So getting that wrapped up and doing similar, with respect to the beef ribs, out there as well. So yeah, everything's cooking well, coming out well, and getting done on time. So schedule wise, we're looking pretty good. Okay, now at this point, ready to start piling this into the Recteq resting box. And I'm starting to wonder if I have enough room for everything else. Well, we're going to find out. Okay, so next off the line, yep, it's that pork butt off the XL. And yeah, everything's looking good and holding together. So now, the big test. Will it fit in the resting box on top of everything else? Well, pleasantly, I was surprised that it did. So, a little bit of rearranging of a few things, but yeah, everything held in there just right at the end of the day. So with that in mind, I was ready to start grabbing the pork butt off the Dual Fire as well. And there you go. Coming up and in. Everything fitting just well. Buckling at the seams though, but fitting just well. So 2 briskets, 2 pork butts, and ribs. We're good. Okay, now it's time for the pork ribs and getting the smoke on there. Again, this is a pretty straightforward exercise. I already have dusted these with some of the blacks, rub, and then I put some of that whole hog from Recteq on there as well. That was, again, the stuff I got out of the mystery box. So we're just loading these on to the indirect and direct side, and then again, putting some onto the Traeger XL there. Okay, smoke time is over. Now it's time to get the braise done. So just like I did with the pork butts, we're doing some honey down first, and then in this case, I'm putting some of that John Henry's jalapeno butter on there too. It's kind of something I discovered. Gives a little bit of a soft kick, but not a hard kick. And yeah, we just repeat this process. And I gotta tell you, everything was looking really well. Everything was, just the right amount of tenderness that I was expecting out of there. So yeah, rib cook was going good. Now it's time for that rib glaze. And in this case, I've got John Henry's again. Picked up 3 different glazes, sauces that I was going to, glaze with here. And just doing a little bit of a taste test between each of them. And I'll give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. They were all just good, okay? No one had one favorite out of each of these. They all came out okay. I just got to tell you, I've been pretty impressed with, the John Henry's. But in this case, we got the cook done, and now it's time just to set this back in, get everything tacky, and then into the oven inside the house, for resting and waiting for the guests to arrive. And yeah, everything came out smelling good, tasting good, looking good with respect to the ribs. And I was pretty impressed that I was able to fit all those in my oven for sure. So, got those things out, got them done, put them in their little resting trays there, foiled them up, labeled each one of them for a taste test. Okay, speaking of taste test, how do we do? So the first thing we decided to unwrap was the pork butt, and I gotta tell you, it was smelling great.
Pork butt on the block.
Oh yeah, look at that. And I just have to say, this was as tender as it gets. It just falling apart. And again, the bones just pulled out with no issue at all, and this was nice. All right, which one did you like?
This one.
Which one did you like?
That one.
Okay, that was a clear choice. Now we're on to the beef ribs. And yeah, the bone pull here was sweet, and I mean, the color on this was excellent. I mean, in each one of these rib bones just came out that easy. It's crazy. And as far as those beef back ribs go, yeah, I mean, these beef ribs were just juicy and moist. That one? What about you, Anthony?
This one.
That's actually pretty good. No, Anthony's right. It's got more flavor on the outside. Okay, I may have had to break the tie there, but the bark made the difference on that one. And speaking of bark, take a look at that. That snake pit came out really well. I mean, this worked out nice. This is what I was expecting to see off that Timberline XL. And then yeah, here we go on the Dual Fire. I always expected to come out this good, and it was looking good too. All right, so I can tell you, just visually, do you see a difference between this pile and that pile?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Yeah. All right, so Gabriel, which was your favorite?
But the one closest to us.
That was yours too? This one?
Yeah.
So
that's gonna be hard to beat.
I know.
Yeah, it's not there.
Communications.
Yeah, honestly, the tastes are pretty similar.
Joke.
They're both pretty good.
I would say I'd be very happy with both.
Okay, they were close, but the tilt went to the dual fire on that one too. Okay, as far as the ribs go, this was where my wife basically said, hey, I've tried all of them. It's the direct side on the dual fire. So now let's talk about some learnings. As you heard me comment already, that snake pit on the XL worked out better than I expected. The dual fire still performs well without the snake even, but both deliver, and the dual fire was just a little bit better in everybody's opinion. And yes, you can smoke on the direct side. That pork butt came out extremely well. You know it is in time. So from 2011 to 2015, we ran a program training people on how to innovate, how to take ideas and bring them to market. And I gotta tell you, these classes of 50 each did some exceptional things. Congratulations to all of them. It was good seeing you again. And yeah, do me a favor, like and subscribe and give me some comments. Truly appreciate it.